excited and happy to have joining the program today none other than former manager of Stryper, also the mom to Robert and Michael Sweet, Mrs. Janice Sweet. Janice, thank you for joining us.
Hello, Bill. How are you? I'm so happy to be visiting with everybody out there today.
Awesome. We're so glad you took a few minutes to join us today. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Anytime for you guys. We love what you do. And I understand that we're going to be talking about a special Christmas today.
That's right. We're going to name this segment the Stryper Family Christmas with none other than Stryper Mom. So we were hoping you could share a nice little Stryper Christmas story from days gone by with us.
You know, the first thing that comes to my mind, because, you know, I was with the band for, I was their manager from like 1985 to 1992, and we had a lot of special Christmases together where all the band members, you know, would come to my house, but the most special Christmas that I remember during that time, aside from my family Christmases, was 1988. That was a wonderful Christmas, and it was wonderful for many, many reasons. We had a big Christmas party at the Stryper office, and at that time the Stryper office was 4,600 square feet, and I believe it was located at 8641 Somerset in Buena Park. And we had a lot of room to spread out, and we had a lot of people. We had lots of friends, we had roadies, we had office people, office personnel, we had people from Enigma Records, and it was just a special time to share and show everybody that we loved them and how much we appreciated them. And people came and brought their kids, and everybody left with a gift. Some of the gifts were, you know, we had different kinds of gifts for different classes, different age groups and whatnot, and it was just a special time. We had good food, and let me tell you some of the people that were there.
Cool.
We had Bill and Wes Hine from Enigma Records. They're the brothers that started Enigma Records.
Right.
And, you know, they brought some Stryper gold records when they came. I think it was To Hell with the Devil. And then we had the platinum presentation a couple of months later in New York. But they brought the gold ones when they came to the Christmas party. And that was real special because, you know, To Hell with the Devil has always been like the ultimate Stryper song to me. To me, it's a rock anthem. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And I really get into it when I hear that song. I just love that song, and it made the guys feel really good. It gave them a special Christmas because they didn't have an inkling that they were going to come out and bring these gold records. You know,
what could you ask more better for Christmas than a gold record for Christmas?
You couldn't, and that was a special time. And then, you know, Darren Hinton was there. She actually lived there. Her and Patty lived there at the Stryper office. Because it was huge. Robert lived there for a while. And then some of the office personnel lived there later, and a couple of the road crew lived there at one time. But we had Darren there, we had Patty Gannon and Darren Hinton. We had Kenny Metcalf and his wife, who at one time, a lot of people don't know it, but Evie worked in the office, helping us with the fan club mail for a long time.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, so she was there, and Biker James was there.
Okay.
And our daughter, Lisa, was there. Lisa was the computer expert in the Stryper office. She oversaw anything and everything to do with computer programming and the running of computers. And Patty helped with the mail a lot. Also, we had a friend named Lisa Hirahara.
Okay.
That came in the early days of Stryper, and she was a teenager. Her and her brother Richard They were teenagers that used to help me go, and in the very early days of Stryper, they'd go to the country club or in Reseda or someplace with me, and they'd help me set up and do the Stryper merchandising. So
Cool.
Lisa was there, and Rose DeCure was there. She's another early friend. And then Kathy Jacob was there. She was office personnel. Jeff Jacob was there. He was office personnel. Danny Bergen was there. Danny Bergen was one of the original roadies, along with Guy Davis.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They used to help Stryper, way before I became their manager, and I was just a supporter mom. They were some of the original roadies that used to go help Stryper when they play Gazzaris and do all those kind of gigs. And then Danny, when he got a little bit older, he became part of the office personnel.
Wow.
And then we had Tony Rochon, another friend from California, that was there. And we had Reba Jacob, and we had Shara Savage, who was Robert's girlfriend at the time. And who else did we have? Oh, Biker James and his wife. You remember the great big beefy biker guys that were security in the early days of Stryper?
I do. I remember them.
Okay, Biker James was the guy that wore the scarf on his head that was really big guy, tough guy. And we had Joe Millard, who at one time was Robert Strumtech. We had Eric Blair, who has he has a cable TV show out of Orange County that
Blaring out. Blaring out.
Blaring out, yeah. We had Eric Blair and Evan Blair, his brother. We had Todd Dion. We had Donnie Parker, who was Robert's cousin, who later started off, he came to California and he started doing our deliveries. He'd pick up and deliver stuff for us in the early days of Stryper because we had a lot of running around to do.
Cool.
And then he worked into being Bob's drum tech on, I think it was with him during the To Hell with the Devil tour and the In God We Trust tour.
Okay.
And we had Mario Velasco, who was one of the original roadies with Stryper in the Gazzari days. We had Steve Valdez, who was one of the first ministers that would come to the Stryper gigs and Stryper Garage and pray for Stryper. And we didn't have Michael Guido there at the time because we hadn't met Michael yet.
Okay.
But we had a lot of people there. We had Andy Pryors, who at one time helped with hair a little bit. And then we had Oz and Les and their baby Paul. And we had Mike and Kyle and baby Mikey, because baby Mike and baby Paul were real little men. They were just about a year and a half old then.
They're all grown up today, aren't they?
All grown up. There was Tim and Val, and there was Paul and Marion Tucci. Marion, that was Kyle's mom, mom and dad. Marion came out first, and then Paul came out first. That's the only time in my life that I met Paul Tucci, and I thought he was just a great guy. He was just wonderful. And my husband Philip was there, and this was such a wonderful time. We had Philip sang 2 Elvis songs to Paul because Paul requested it, and then he played Unchained Melody on the piano because we had a grand piano in the living room. And did you know we filmed the video honestly in that place?
Oh, really? Cool.
We did. The original version where everyone was in the backyard with the flag, there was 2 versions. One was a little different from the other one.
Right.
But the one with the flag at the beginning,
I got you.
that with Mike playing the piano,
That's right.
we filmed the video there, and then we did another video in a garage, and it's escaping me now what that video is, what the name of that video is that was in the garage.
Getting a lot of Stryper history out of here.
Oh, that was a wonderful time. And
so all those people there were present to see them get their gold awards from Enigma, huh?
all those people were there, and like I say, it was a wonderful time for food, fellowship, and just remembering what Christmas was all about. Of course, we all spent Christmas with our own families, and everybody at Enigma was invited, but they couldn't leave their job and come. So the only ones that came were Bill and Wes. But, there was some special people at Enigma. Rick Orienza, who was in charge of publicity. He was fabulous. I think he now lives in San Francisco and works for a baseball team up there.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, do you keep in touch with any of those guys from Enigma anymore?
I keep in touch with Wes Hine.
Oh, okay.
Usually every year around Christmas time we send each other a card. And Michael keeps in touch with Bill Hine.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they talk by phone every once in a while. There was Rick Orienza, there was Sandra Gustafson, there was Lisa Gladfelter, who Robert always used to jokingly call Lisa Glad I Felt Her. And she is now working for some record label in Nashville, from what I understand.
Oh, very cool.
And then there was Laura Annick and Laura Hughes, who married Wes Hine and became Laura Hine. And all of these people worked incredibly hard at Enigma promoting Stryper. And it was just... And, you know what else happened? This I remember distinctly. Ozzy had just bought a new car, had gotten a new car, and he invited Eric. For some reason or other, he parked in front of the house, which was a great big house by a golf course. Nowadays, you wouldn't dream of having an office in a house, but in those days, it was cool. It was okay.
Right.
It was better than some coal complex somewhere. And he had Simple Minds, an album of Simple Minds, in his car, and he got Eric Blair out there in his new car and started blasting Simple Minds to show Eric, how great the stereo system was. It was just, it was just a good time.
Nice.
And now yesterday was Thanksgiving, and it was not only a time to give God thanks for all His blessings, but for all the people who have been in our lives, past, present, and in the future, if there is one, if we have one. But these people were all special people, and that, I wanted to mention them all by name because some of them have probably felt like, well, heck, nobody's ever given me thanks. But I would like to say thanks, to all these people. Because they might not realize it, but they were part of the team.
Yep, definitely.
And with Stryper, they had a lot of support from not only from these special people that I mentioned, but from their fans. They had a really special fan network, and they still do.
Yep.
To this day, they still do. Even though there's not the kind of communication that there used to be when we had the Stryper fan club.
Right.
Stryper never wanted a record company to run their fan club. So guess what? We ran their fan club too.
That is so awesome.
Which was a lot because they used to get at least 2,500 letters a week. And personally, I feel if they still had a fan club now, which they don't have at this time, that they would get that many plus more.
Oh,
even though, there's a Stryper website, and it's just not the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I think they'd get that plus more.
I agree.
So thank you for sharing that with us. What do you guys got planned now this year for Christmas?
Haven't thought of it yet. Just got Thanksgiving over with yesterday. But I'm sure that our Christmas will be just as special as this year as it was last year. Last year was special. And to me, it's like I say, it's about friends and family. And I work awful hard over the holidays. I'm one of these old-fashioned ladies, that I believe, the way that I feel about it is, heck, if this is our last Thanksgiving or our last Christmas, or if somebody is there where it's their last Thanksgiving or last Christmas, I want it to be as special as it can be for them.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, do you?
No, my mom is 86 years old, you know.
Wow.
My dad's been gone since he was 33, but my mom has lived a long, full life. And if this is her last Christmas, I want it to be real special for her, you know.
Absolutely.
This last week, we've lost a few people, a few friends, and my husband and I were talking the other day. You know, we've lost a few friends and a few family. We've more than usual, you know, and it's kind of sad, but you pick up and you go on, you know, and I hope that Stryper has made an impact with a lot of people. I know they have, because I used to read the letters.
Yeah.
And we got letters from fans that needed that personal touch from each of the band members. We got letters where people were on the verge of suicide, and they would put on Stryper's music and they would change their mind.
That is awesome.
God has used this band. God has used this band, but that doesn't mean they don't need prayer. They need lots of prayer, because God has used them in such a special way. The devil doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So they need the prayer. And I encourage anybody that's listening to this interview to take it upon themselves to pray for the band. I know that you're going to enjoy what you hear in the future from Stryper. Next February, you're going to enjoy the covering when it comes out. You're going to see bigger and better things from Stryper than you have in a long, long time. And you're going to hear more and more Stryper songs in movies. You're going to see more promotion for Stryper.
And they're going to continue to touch lives.
Oh, I know they will. As long as they're together, which will be for a long time, they will touch lives. They will.
So have you heard some of the songs off of the covering?
I have.
Are they
and I think it's some of the best work that they've done. I say that about every album.
We've been playing Heaven and Hell on the station, and it's been getting some good reviews already. So I think it's going to be a great record.
Oh yeah. Have you read the interview that Eric Blair did with Ron Halpert?
You know, I have not seen that one yet. I'll have to go look for that one.
Well, he asked him what he thought about Stryper covering one of his songs, and he commented about it. And as you know, he was a Stryper fan. He's been to Stryper concerts before.
Yeah.
But he made an interesting comment. So if you can go see that interview, do it by all means.
Well, you know what? I think we're going to track it down and see if we can get that piece on the show this time. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Oh, you're welcome. My favorite Stryper Christmas song is Winter Wonderland.
Great. So thank you for joining us. And why don't you take us out with that? Well, you have any stories of the recording of Reason for the Season or the Winter Wonderland single?
Yes, I love Winter Wonderland, because I just thought that the guys sounded so cool when they were doing the talking. It was totally natural. And I've always thought that they would be great actors. And I think that they pulled it off with Winter Wonderland. I love that song.
Cool. Well, here it is. Stryper's version of Winter Wonderland.
Alright guys, we're gonna do some Christmas singing. Tim and I, why don't you guys help me out?
Aw, man, I gotta go.
You're sick again? Bob, come on, man, you're my brother, don't leave me hanging.
I don't know, man. I better stick to the drums.
Alright, shine you guys, man, I'll do it myself. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. This isn't gonna work, guys, come on!
A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland.
wasn't so bad.
Hey, man, I don't know, man.
Hey, it sounded pretty good to me.
I still
Come
don't
on, man.
All right, there you had it. That was Winter Wonderland, and we still have Janice Sweet on the phone, and we're going to say goodbye, and we just want to thank her so much for joining us, and we want to wish her family a happy holiday season this year.
Thank you for having me, Bill, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there. We love you.
There you have it. The one and only Janice Sweet, or Stryper Mom, as she likes to go by. Oh, we're so glad we got to have her on here for this Christmas episode. Made it that much more special.